You are looking at your deck right now, and you already know something is wrong. The stain is peeling at the edges. The boards are darkening around the nail heads. You put a good product on 3 years ago. The label said 10-year protection. You spent a Saturday applying it correctly. And it is already failing. Now, let me tell you about a barn outside Cookeville, Tennessee, built in 1902. Original siding still on it. Never repainted. Never resealed. One treatment applied by the current owner's grandfather in 1938. That is 86 years ago. I knocked on that wood myself last spring. You know the sound healthy wood makes. That tight, dry thud that tells you the fibers inside are dense and alive. That is exactly the sound I heard. On 86-year-old siding that has never seen a paint brush. He is not using paint. He is using a white powder that costs 30 cents a pound at any farm supply store, and the reason you have never heard of it has nothing to do with how well it works. It has everything to do with how well it works permanently. For an industry built on repeat sales, permanent is not a feature. Permanent is a threat. The powder is hydrated lime. Calcium hydroxide. 50-pound bag at your farm store, around $15. You need 2 pounds to treat a standard fence section. That is 60 cents of material against a $45 can of stain you will buy again in 4 years. But the math is actually the least interesting part of this story. Here is what paint does to wood that nobody in the paint aisle will ever tell you. It sits on top. It forms a film, and for the first 2 or 3 years that film does exactly what it promises. Then, a crack opens. Could be a nail hole, could be thermal expansion, could be nothing except time. Moisture enters through that crack, and now it is trapped. Because the paint film is still intact everywhere else. The wood is sitting in sealed humidity. Rot fungi need 3 things to survive: moisture, oxygen, and organic material. Your sealed painted board is providing all 3 in perfect conditions. The rot starts in the center, not the surface. By the time your foot goes soft through a deck board, that wood has been dying quietly for years while looking completely fine from above. The paint did not fail to protect the wood. The paint created the exact conditions for the wood to rot invisibly. Lime works from a completely different direction. Calcium hydroxide is highly alkaline. pH between 11 and 12. Rot fungi, wood-boring bacteria, the insects that destroy structural timber, none of them can survive in a high alkaline environment. When you apply lime wash to wood, it does not coat the surface. It penetrates the grain and reacts with the cellulose fibers inside. You are not adding a layer. You are changing the chemistry of the wood itself, making it biologically hostile to everything that would otherwise eat it over the next decade. Then, something else happens that no synthetic coating can replicate. When atmospheric carbon dioxide contacts the calcium hydroxide inside the wood fibers, it converts to calcium carbonate. Limestone. Formed inside the grain of your wood, not sitting on top of it. Your wood does not just get coated, it gets mineralized. This is why lime-treated wood gets harder every time it rains instead of softer. Every rain cycle drives more carbonation deeper into the grain. The protection is not wearing away. It is completing itself. Now I want to tell you about a document nobody reads. The Forest Products Laboratory in Madison, Wisconsin published Technical Report L244. 17 different coatings tested on identical pine boards exposed to Wisconsin weather for 12 full years. Oil paint, creosote, linseed oil, commercial whitewash, and lime casein, lime mixed with skim milk protein. After 12 years, the lime casein boards showed the lowest measurable decay of any coating tested. Lower than creosote, lower than oil paint, lower than everything. The report concluded that lime casein coatings offered superior protection at substantially lower cost and merited wider adoption in residential construction. That recommendation was never acted on. A post-war consumer economy needed products people would buy repeatedly. A coating that costs 40 cents and lasts 50 years is not a product. It is a problem. The report was never retracted. It was simply filed away. It is still in the Federal Archive right now. Nobody reads it because nobody told you it existed. Here is the recipe. Use a 5-gallon plastic bucket, never metal. Lime reacts with aluminum and weakens the mixture. Pour in 3 quarts of skim milk. Must be skim. Fat and whole milk breaks the protein bond. Add 1 pound of hydrated lime slowly while stirring with a wooden stick until no lumps remain. Add 3 tablespoons of table salt. Salt suppresses mold and helps the coating cure denser. Add 1 tablespoon of raw linseed oil. Raw, not boiled. Boiled linseed contains metal dryers that block the carbonation process. Apply with a wide, natural bristle brush, not a roller. A brush works the mixture into the grain. A roller leaves it sitting on top. Brush with the grain on the first coat. Let it dry 24 hours. It will look almost invisible, slightly chalky, nothing like the thick coat you expect from paint. That is correct. The work is happening inside the wood where you cannot see it. Second coat against the grain. Another 24 hours. Total cost for a 500 square foot deck is between $10 and $18. Now here's the part I almost never found. What I just gave you is already the 1929 federal recipe. Already better than anything in the paint aisle. But there is a refinement that does not appear in any government document. It comes from the handwritten notebooks of a homesteader named Edna Clausen, who farmed the Nebraska sandhills from 1911 until 1973 and kept detailed maintenance records for every structure on her property. Her granddaughter found the notebooks in 2019. I found photographs of the pages on a small homesteading forum after 8 months of searching. April 1922. Edna wrote a variation of the lime recipe with one addition: 2 tablespoons of wheat flour paste. Her note said it makes the coating hold longer on the north face, where the sun never fully dries it. I brought that note to a wood preservation specialist at a university materials lab. He understood immediately what Edna had worked out by pure observation 100 years before his equipment existed. Wheat starch slows the surface drying rate, allowing the lime to penetrate deeper before carbonation locks it in place. On north-facing surfaces, the starch buys an extra 12 to 18 hours of open time. The result is penetration 2 to 3 times deeper on problem surfaces. Edna figured this out watching her barn walls in 1922. A university lab confirmed the chemistry in 2024. She had them by a century. The full recipe: 3 quarts skim milk, 1 pound hydrated lime, 3 tablespoons table salt, 1 tablespoon raw linseed oil, 2 tablespoons of plain wheat flour cooked into a thin paste with a 1/4 cup of hot water, cooled, stirred in last. Total cost under $20. Expected service life based on Edna's own records, a single 1922 application she documented as still active in 1958, is 35 to 50 years minimum. The barn in Tennessee. 1 treatment in 1938. Still solid. 86 years later. You have been spending money every 4 years on a product designed to fail on a schedule. The alternative has been sitting on the bottom shelf of your farm supply store the entire time, priced below anything that attracts a marketing budget. Unlabeled for this purpose, invisible to anyone who was never told where to look. This knowledge was not destroyed. It was priced out of relevance by an industry that cannot build a business model around something that works once and lasts a lifetime. And it survived the way real knowledge always survives. In notebooks. In barns. In the quiet memory of people who never stopped building things meant to last. The bag of lime is at your farm store right now. It has been there the whole time. Tell me in the comments, when was the last time a paint product lasted as long as the label promised? I think most of you already know the answer and have known it for a long time. If you build things to last and you are tired of products engineered to fail, subscribe. This channel exists for one reason: to recover what was quietly taken from us, one buried technique at a time. Next video. A waterproofing method used in Appalachian stone foundations that kept basements bone dry for over 80 years. No pump. No electricity. A mineral slurry mixed into the mortar that contractors stopped using in the 1950s. Once you understand why they stopped, the whole pattern becomes very clear. See you there.